Hello, everybody. Hello, beautiful beings. I am back again, Louise Eddington, Cosmic Owl Astrology. I am the Cosmic Owl. I am an author and an astrologer and mystic and weaver of wild threads. And this is your weekly astrology forecast for May the 25th through June the 1st. Before I dive in, though, I would like you to subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and check out my Spiral Weave membership, which is a subscription space for co-creation. And if you're craving deeper guidance and all those fun things, check it out. But anyway, this is no ordinary week. We're entering a corridor of choice, the kind that echoes. We've got Saturn moving into Aries, a Gemini New Moon, which I did a whole video on, so you can check that out, and that rewrites the script. We've got Venus, Eris, and Chiron forming a soul-forging cauldron at 25 Aries, and the cards, they pulled no punches, and I could not believe it when I pulled them. So we got the Justice card, the Hermit card, and the Lovers card, three major arcana cards. This is a big week. If you've watched Kathy and I already in our post-election video, we talk about a lot of these aspects, but I'm just going to give a little different spin on it for you personally rather than for the political world, okay? So let me get the chart up. All right, so we start, it would have helped if I'd got this ready first of all, but that's okay. I'm just going to remind you to do the thumbs up and things while I get this up. And let me just change the place. Okay. So this is... Oh, stay to the end for a full reading on the cards, by the way, okay? So Sunday, May the 25th, we start the week. This I've called Fire Ignites and Structures Crack. Okay, so Saturn enters Aries. This really is initiating a new cycle of responsibility. It's very direct, it's very raw, it's very urgent. Saturn is ready to get going after being in Pisces for so long. Now, just a reminder that Saturn will re-enter Pisces on September the 1st and go back to 25 degrees and re-enter Aries finally in early 2026. But we're going to get a real taste of what Saturn in Aries is going to bring. And it is that kind of very direct energy. Saturn is very straightforward. Aries is very straightforward. They're both very entrepreneurial signs. This is get going. There is a slight wriggle because Neptune is there, and Saturn and Neptune are going to be working together for a while. But I see a lot of this as very much clouds clearing, curtains being drawn back. But we'll see, right? Anyway, Mercury then also on Sunday the 25th enters Gemini, so we get two sign changes on the same day. What a start to the week. So Mercury enters its own sign, Gemini, and immediately makes an aspect of opportunity to Saturn. So words will really carry weight, and this is launch your words with great intention. You have an opportunity here to really kind of be very intentional, very firm, very direct, and speak truth to power. We also got the Taurus moon. The moon's in Taurus all day. I'm not looking at all the lunar aspects, but the Taurus moon on the 25th. So here's the aspects. So Saturn enters Aries. You can see that, okay? Mercury will enter Gemini later in the day. And here we have the Taurus moon, and the Taurus moon is going to move on and square Mars in Leo. So this is kind of calm. Taurus is very rooted, very grounded, very calm, meets drama, Mars in Leo. So this is a call to really anchor, get yourself rooted and grounded before reacting. So because it's very much an ignitory kind of energy, especially with the other two planets changing signs. There's going to be shifting structures. There's going to be a lot of pressure today because this is a square, right, from the moon to Mars. And this is saying we really want to act. We really want to take action. We really want to say this thing. But maybe you have to kind of go into your center first so that you can speak with authority, right? Okay, so on to the next day, Monday the 26th. I called this one electric ground. So the moon is still in Taurus and will conjunct Uranus, also fixed our algo. But think disruptions, downloads, aha moments, but shake-ups in both the body, the material realm, and finances. This is a big conjunction, even though the moon moves really fast. Think, the moon is not going to meet Uranus in Taurus many more times because Uranus is going to move into Gemini and then go back and forth between Taurus and Gemini once. So it's a big conjunction, big awakenings, right? And then the moon enters Gemini, joins Mercury and the sun in Gemini. So this is about thinking fast, moving light. This is very changeable kind of energy. And then the Mercury in Gemini will aspect Neptune in Aries. Remember remember Mercury already aspected Saturn. This is more kind of like channeling the muse, inspired speech, and soul-led strategy. So this is a day overall really of surprise, innovation, fluid magic, and a lot of mental pivoting. There's going to be a lot of changing perspectives this week and a lot of kind of trickster energy. It's really Mercury's week in many, many ways. So on to the 27th. We have a Gemini new moon at 6 Gemini. For some of us, it's very late on the 26th, but for most of you, it's on the 27th. This is almost exactly on the new moon, so you can see how close it is to the days shifting. And so the Gemini new moon, I did a whole video on it, so I'll link to that in the video, or you can find it on my channel. But the Gemini moon has got Mercury, Sedna, and Hygeia all in Gemini as well. I don't show them all on the chart, and I'll come back to that in a minute. We've got Chiron as well, though, conjunct Eris. That is a big conjunction, in my opinion. And this is healing the rebel. This is sacred rage. This is truth teller wounds arising. This is people being shocked at what's happening in the world, right? And rising up, or even in your own world. And so also Mercury as well, right on the new moon, is aspecting, making a lovely aspect of opportunity to Ceres in Aries, and then an unbroken flow aspect to Pluto in Aquarius. Now then, if you've watched Kathy and I do mention that Mercury, of course, is the guide for Gemini, and Uranus is the guide for Aquarius, the modern guide. So we've got a lot of aspects and planets speaking to each other. But this aspect with Mercury aspecting Ceres and Pluto is about words that feed us, words that transform, and real legacy thinking here. So other words for this day really are rebirth, realignment, sacred speech, and feminine revolution, or divine feminine revolution. So this is a big, big week. There's so much going to come out and so much truth going to be spoken and perspectives changed. It's kind of like awakening to what's going on out there. And then on May the 28th, I've called this day Ground and Grow, very welcome day, right? The moon will finish up in Gemini with a conjunction to Jupiter, which is like big ideas and things like that. But then the moon will enter its own sign of Cancer. And that is time to feel, time to nest, time to root in your security, time to kind of close your pincers, pull down your shell, and spend some time at home with those that you love, and maybe even hitting the cookie jar a little bit. The other big aspect on Wednesday is Pluto will finalize the aspect to Ceres that Mercury activated the day before. And so this is really about empowered self-care, power through nurture and liberation in boundaries. So I'm big proponent of doing self-care. This is a real day to focus and dig in deep to your self-care practices. This is also about grounded devotion and intuitive sovereignty. It's like, where is my power coming from? Where is my root? All right. So now then, on May the 29th, the moon is in Cancer all day. There are no major aspects. The key words for this day really are nostalgia, protection, internal tides, emotional restoration, and yes, lots of self-care and self-love. On to Friday, May the 30th. We have the moon will enter the sign of Leo later on, but the big aspect of the day is Mercury cazimi the sun. This is which means Mercury conjunct the sun, and Mercury is midway between retrogrades now, so Mercury is behind the sun, but this is crystal clear insight. The message arrives. You suddenly see. This is mental rebirth, this is clarity, and this is radiant truth coming through in all ways. Now then, Saturday the 31st. I am going to go into June the 1st because a lot of the aspects happen very early, and I think it's worth looking at a little bit. So, but the moon is in Leo all day for Saturday, for the start of the end of this week and the beginning of next. And so this is creative fire, bold moves, lion-hearted play, and trusting your creative self-expression, following your heart. And there's no major aspects for most of us on that day, but wowie, what is coming up? And again, we did look at a bit of this on Kathy and I's video, but this is a big day. So we have Venus conjunct Eris and then conjunct Chiron. So I'll come to what all this means in a minute. This is in a sextile to sacred justice or wise justice warrior Pallas Athena. She's also the problem solver. And Pallas Athena is opposed by the moon. But of course, the moon is still very close to Mars. And really, this is forming a T-square, a fixed T-square to Uranus, which is making it extra radical. But this is a crucible. This is the divine feminine meeting strategy, rage, healing, and heart. This day is not about soft love. This is really about true love. Love that burns off the illusion, that asks you to rise whole. This is about fierce beauty, initiation, power from within, and wild sacred strategy for problem solving. If you just think about the energies of all of this, particularly this wedge pattern here, this is fire, and air. And this is going to have people fired up, but also inspired to bring the change and to be the change they want to see in the world. So the cards, so let's go into a little bit more detail with the cards. So we have the Justice card, and then I'm going to summary at the end for those of you that have asked for it. So summary, Justice, this is I am the reckoning. The week begins with Saturn. Saturn's call. Are you walking your talk? Are your actions aligned with your soul contract? Then we have the Hermit. I am the light within. Midweek calls for a pause, inner truth, sacred withdrawal to feel your own compass before rushing into choice. And then we have the Lovers, which happens to be the Gemini card. I am devotion, I am choice. The end of the week demands clarity. Will you align with fear or with your becoming? This card isn't just romance, it's radical commitment to path and purpose. So these cards whisper, stand in your truth, step into light, choose what is holy, even if it scares you. And I will say, pulling 3 major arcana cards for 1 week is a big deal. This shows what a big week it is. So, in summary, this week is a threshold, not just astrologically, but energetically, spiritually, creatively. We're walking the line between old stories and sacred action. There's no need to rush, but there is a need to choose. Choose your voice, choose your truth, choose the fire that feeds, not the one that burns you out. And remember, you don't walk this alone. So that is a big week to come. Decisions, choices, so many things happening. 2 planets changing signs, a new moon, a Mercury cazimi. It's like your mind might feel like it's all over the place, but the awakenings and the aha moments are going to be off the charts. So don't forget that safe self-care, especially midweek. So subscribe, share, and if you're ready to deepen your cosmic rhythm, join me in the spiral weave. The thread is waiting. So with fire in my voice and stardust on my sleeves, I'll see you in the weave. So until next week. Mwah.